Your privacy has always been important to me, and I would never say something that you didn't say, but I know that if you look at me, then clearly the world will know that you've already had the...
A shocking phone call reportedly changed everything for daytime television host Sherri Shepherd. According to rumors from people who claimed to be close to the situation, the decision came without any clear warning. There was reportedly no official announcement, no carefully prepared statement, and no public explanation from the network. Instead, insiders claimed that Sherri received a short and direct message that completely caught her off guard. According to the story, someone simply told her, "You're fired." The words were allegedly delivered without a long conversation or detailed explanation, leaving Sherri stunned and trying to understand why such a major decision had been made so suddenly. People connected to the production later claimed that the atmosphere inside the studio changed almost immediately. Staff members were reportedly moving around quickly, as if an unexpected crisis had suddenly taken place behind the scenes. Within a short period, whispers about the decision began spreading throughout the television industry. Entertainment reporters allegedly started receiving messages from sources, while producers quietly contacted media professionals they knew. Before long, the story reached social media, where viewers were left confused and searching for answers. The news surprised many people because, from the outside, Sherri's talk show did not appear to be in serious trouble. Viewers had not noticed obvious signs that the program was failing. There had been no major controversy that publicly suggested the show was about to end, and there was no clear indication that the network was preparing to make such a sudden move. Because of that, fans quickly began asking one major question: what really happened? At first, there were very few answers. The network reportedly remained silent, while people connected to the program appeared unwilling to discuss what was happening. As the silence continued, rumors began spreading through entertainment websites, blogs, social media, and private conversations within the industry. One report claimed that someone inside the network had shared a brief voice message suggesting that the decision was not related to ratings. Instead, the rumor raised the possibility that something Sherri had said may have created problems behind the scenes. That claim immediately attracted attention. If the rumor were true, it would mean the situation was about more than normal television business. It could suggest that tensions between Sherri and network executives had been building for some time before the reported firing. Questions began to emerge about whether there had been disagreements that the public knew nothing about. Was there a private argument? Had Sherri said something that executives did not like? Or was the entire situation being misunderstood because people were relying on rumors instead of confirmed information? For a while, many people expected the story to disappear like other entertainment rumors. Instead, the controversy became even bigger when comedian Katt Williams entered the conversation. Katt has built a reputation for speaking openly about the entertainment industry and criticizing what he believes happens behind closed doors in Hollywood. Throughout his career, he has often suggested that audiences do not always see the full story behind major entertainment decisions. His comments have frequently attracted attention because he presents himself as someone willing to discuss subjects that other people may avoid. According to people who attended one of his late-night comedy performances in Atlanta, Katt unexpectedly paused his routine and began talking about Sherri's reported firing. Audience members claimed that he looked across the crowd and made a statement that immediately changed the mood in the room. According to those reports, he suggested that Sherri had not lost her position because she was unsuccessful. Instead, he reportedly claimed that she was removed because she stopped cooperating with the system. The statement quickly became the part of the story that attracted the most attention. People in the audience reportedly pulled out their phones and began recording. Clips from the performance then spread across social media, where viewers debated what Katt may have been implying. Some people believed he was simply creating a dramatic moment as part of his comedy routine. They argued that comedians often exaggerate stories, make provocative statements, or use real events as material for entertainment. Others saw his comments very differently. They believed Katt was hinting at something much more serious that had allegedly happened behind the scenes. His words encouraged entertainment bloggers and reporters to contact their own sources and investigate whether there had been conflict between Sherri and network executives before the reported decision. As people searched for possible answers, attention turned towards something Sherri had said shortly before the reported firing. During one episode of her talk show, she had spoken emotionally about Tyra Banks. At first, the conversation appeared to be a normal celebrity discussion, similar to many topics covered on daytime television. However, after the firing rumors began circulating, viewers returned to the segment and watched it again with much greater attention. During the discussion, Sherri passionately defended Tyra while speaking about the intense pressure that comes with being famous. She became emotional and appeared close to tears as she explained that people outside the entertainment world often do not understand what celebrities experience behind the scenes. Her comments seemed sincere and deeply personal, which caused some viewers to wonder whether there was more to the conversation than they had originally realized. The renewed interest in that interview added another layer to an already confusing story. Some people began wondering whether Sherri's comments about Tyra had somehow upset powerful people in the industry. Others argued that there was no evidence connecting the interview to her reported firing and that the timing could simply be a coincidence. For now, much of the story remains based on reports, rumors, and interpretations rather than confirmed statements. People on the outside often do not understand what celebrities really go through when the cameras are turned off. Sherri tried to explain this during the show, saying that life behind the scenes can be much more complicated than the public ever realizes. At the time, her comments seemed honest and harmless. The audience applauded, and the program quickly moved on to another topic. However, things reportedly became more complicated after the broadcast. Online rumors later suggested that one particular comment may have caught the attention of network executives. While speaking directly to the audience, Sherri said that many people have no idea what actually happens behind closed doors in the entertainment industry. Most viewers did not think much about what she said. To them, it sounded like a general observation from someone who had spent years working in television. But according to anonymous reports, some executives watching the program became uncomfortable with her choice of words. Those reports claimed that messages were allegedly being exchanged inside network offices while the show was still airing. One producer was even rumored to have said that Sherri had gone off script. In television, that phrase can be important because daytime talk shows are normally planned very carefully. Producers usually discuss topics ahead of time, and questions, jokes, talking points, and certain conversations may be reviewed before the cameras begin rolling. Hosts are often given some freedom, but there are still boundaries they are expected to follow. During the same segment, Sherri continued discussing the pressure placed on celebrities by networks, audiences, and influential people in the entertainment business. She suggested that entertainers are sometimes expected to create drama simply to keep people interested in their lives. She then made another comment that reportedly raised concerns behind the scenes. Sherri said that people working in entertainment are sometimes expected to say certain things just to keep the system moving. Many viewers saw the statement as a simple comment about how show business works. However, online speculation quickly gave the words a different meaning. Some people believe that her reference to the machine could have been pointing toward the powerful systems that influence public stories, media coverage, and important decisions within the industry. Nothing unusual happened in front of the cameras, but rumors claimed that the atmosphere backstage changed soon after the recording ended. Several reports suggested that an urgent meeting with network leadership was requested. Anonymous sources allegedly claimed that the meeting was described as an emergency discussion. Executives were supposedly interested in reviewing the segment again, especially the part involving Sherri's comments about the entertainment industry. Some insiders reportedly believed that she might have been hinting at larger problems within the business. Later that evening, Sherri was allegedly asked to attend a private meeting with executives the following morning. Meetings between television hosts and network leaders are not unusual, but one detail reportedly made this situation different. According to the rumors, the invitation stated that her comments from the previous day's program needed to be discussed immediately. When Sherri reportedly arrived at the studio the next morning, the atmosphere was said to feel completely different. Staff members were allegedly quieter than usual, and some people reportedly avoided making eye contact with her. Even members of the makeup team were said to have noticed that something seemed wrong. At the same time, clips from the interview continued spreading rapidly across social media. Viewers began debating what Sherri really meant when she talked about what happens behind closed doors and referred to the machine. Some praised her because they believed she was finally being honest about the entertainment business. Others criticized her for making comments that they felt could create unnecessary controversy. As the conversation continued online, the mystery surrounding her reported firing only became bigger. People began examining every word she had said and trying to understand whether there was a deeper story behind the situation. Sherri had already faced criticism in the past for defending controversial public figures, but according to the rumors surrounding this incident, that may not have been the network's main concern. Instead, some reports claimed that executives were worried about the amount of attention the situation was receiving. As the clip went viral, thousands of viewers watched it repeatedly, discussed it online, and shared their own theories about what might have happened behind the scenes. Reports also claimed that Sherri later met with several network executives in a private conference room. An anonymous insider allegedly said the meeting started calmly and professionally but became much more serious as the conversation continued. One executive reportedly asked Sherri whether she had intentionally criticized the entertainment industry during her television appearance. Sherri allegedly responded that she had simply spoken honestly and did not believe she should hide what she thought was true. According to the same reports, that answer made the room even more tense. Another executive allegedly warned her that comments like hers could easily be misunderstood by viewers and could create a much bigger controversy than she expected. The disagreement reportedly began when concerns were raised that certain issues could create problems for the network. Sherri apparently did not agree with that opinion. Instead of quietly accepting what was being said, she questioned whether people working in the entertainment industry were really expected to pretend that the pressure, stress, and difficult situations behind the scenes did not exist. According to the rumors, the conversation became more serious as both sides continued defending their positions. What may have started as a normal professional discussion reportedly turned into a tense and emotional argument. One insider claimed that voices were raised during the meeting, while papers were pushed across the table as the disagreement became more heated. The atmosphere in the room was said to be uncomfortable, with everyone focused on the growing conflict. During the exchange, Sherri was rumored to have made a particularly bold statement. She reportedly told the executives that if the network wanted someone who would simply follow orders without being honest about what was happening, then they had chosen the wrong woman. The alleged comment was described as a direct challenge to the people in the room. Rather than staying silent to protect her position, she was said to have made it clear that she wanted to speak openly and stand behind her opinions. People familiar with the rumors claimed that her statement caused the room to go completely silent for a brief moment. No one reportedly knew how to respond immediately. Then, according to the story, something unexpected happened that changed the situation even further. One executive allegedly placed a phone on the conference table and announced that the conversation was being recorded. If that claim is accurate, it would mean there was an audio record of what had been discussed during the private meeting. Witnesses reportedly said Sherri appeared surprised by the announcement. However, she did not seem frightened or furious. Instead, she appeared shocked that a private conversation had suddenly become something that was being officially documented. After the meeting ended, the situation reportedly became even more uncomfortable inside the studio. Production staff allegedly began discussing what had happened, and rumors quickly moved throughout the building that an audio recording of the meeting existed. As more people heard about it, another claim began circulating. Someone inside the company was supposedly said to have secretly copied the recording. If that rumor were true, there was a possibility that the audio could eventually make its way onto the internet. Later that evening, an anonymous social media account posted a mysterious message suggesting that the truth becomes expensive when microphones are turned on. Many people connected to the studio reportedly believed the message was referring to the private meeting. However, there was no confirmed evidence proving that the post had anything to do with Sherri or the alleged recording. Around the same time, comedian Katt Williams performed in Atlanta and made comments that brought even more attention to the controversy. His remarks about a recording of the meeting reportedly encouraged reporters, fans, and online investigators to look more closely at the story. As speculation continued spreading, former television employees also began sharing vague messages online about the pressure experienced by talk show hosts behind the scenes. Some suggested that daytime television is much more complicated than viewers might imagine. They hinted that disagreements, network pressure, ratings concerns, and difficult decisions can all happen away from the cameras. The situation became even more dramatic when a very short audio clip reportedly began circulating across social media. The clip immediately created new questions about what had actually happened during the meeting and whether the rumored recording was real. As people listened and shared their opinions, the controversy continued to grow, leaving many wondering whether more of the alleged conversation could eventually come to light. The recording lasted only a few seconds, but it quickly attracted a great deal of attention online. In the short clip, a voice that sounded like Sherri Shepherd could reportedly be heard saying that nobody should be punished simply for telling the truth. Another voice then responded in a much sharper tone, suggesting that if the situation continued, the show would not be able to move forward. Because the recording was extremely short, people immediately began arguing over what it actually proved. Some viewers believed the clip showed Sherri standing up to powerful executives and refusing to stay quiet. Others were more cautious, pointing out that a few seconds of audio cannot provide enough context to understand an entire conversation. Without hearing what was said before and after the clip, it was impossible to know exactly what the disagreement was about or who was responsible for the tension. Not long after that, another audio recording reportedly appeared online. This one was described as a private phone conversation between Sherri Shepherd and Katt Williams. In the alleged recording, Sherri sounded emotionally exhausted and deeply concerned about what might happen to her career. She reportedly told Katt that she believed the network might take her show away. Katt Williams allegedly responded calmly. According to the recording, he told her that he believed the decision may have already been made before the meeting even happened. When Sherri asked what she should do next, he encouraged her to continue speaking honestly regardless of what happened. He reportedly reminded her that difficult moments do not have to be the end of someone's career and that staying true to yourself can sometimes lead to new opportunities. The conversation ended soon afterward, but the alleged recording spread rapidly across social media. It created even more discussion among viewers who were already trying to understand what had happened. Many fans showed their support for Sherri and praised her for remaining strong during what appeared to be a difficult period. At the same time, other people raised a different concern: how had private conversations supposedly been recorded and leaked so easily? As the controversy continued to grow, the network eventually released a short statement. Officials reportedly said that the recordings had been taken out of context and explained that the show's cancellation was simply part of normal programming changes. According to the network, there was no hidden conflict behind the decision. However, that explanation did not convince everyone. Many viewers continued to question the official version of events, especially because the leaked audio had created so much uncertainty. Social media discussions continued for hours, with people examining every statement and trying to connect the different pieces of the story. After nearly a full day of non-stop online debate, Sherri finally responded herself. Rather than appearing on television or giving a long interview, she recorded a simple video from her home. Sitting quietly in her living room, she spoke directly to the people who had supported her throughout her career. Sherri explained that her work had always been about making people laugh, helping others smile, and giving audiences something positive to enjoy. She made it clear that she did not intend to stop doing those things simply because one television platform had come to an end. She never directly mentioned the leaked recordings, and she did not publicly accuse anyone of wrongdoing. Instead, she chose to focus on the future. Her closing message was especially memorable. Sometimes losing one platform simply means it is time to build an even bigger one. The video quickly gained attention, and many viewers praised Sherri for responding with calmness and dignity instead of anger. Still, one major question remains unanswered. If the alleged recordings are genuine and more audio is eventually released, they could provide additional information about what happened behind closed doors. Until that happens, the mystery surrounding Sherri Shepherd's reported firing or departure will likely continue to fuel debate. For now, viewers are left wondering whether the official explanation tells the whole story or whether important details are still being kept out of public view.